Yo, what's good, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. We're back with another live stream on this Friday, August 8th, 2025. We're literally about to approach into the second week of August, and hopefully, these last 8 days, or 7.5, or maybe even pushing 9 days now, for those of you who are across the world, and it's pretty much pushing midnight, or already has hit midnight. Hopefully, these first several days of August have been kind to you, your family, friends, and loved ones, and definitely, as always, hope you all are doing well today as we're walking into the weekend. For those of you who are off on the weekend, I am jealous of y'all. I was only off today. Still was a good, decent day. Just tired. Work kicked my butt all week, and more than likely going to kick my butt over the weekend because, like I keep continuously saying, that my job is pretty much low staff, and we're doing a lot of running around, doing a lot of extra work, trying to make sure that things run as possibly smoothly as possible. But what can you do? It's a part of the workforce. It happens on a yearly basis. Your staff is up and then they're down, up and down. It's a constant cycle, constant roller coaster ride of so much stuff. But with that, let's get ready to hopefully get some wins today. I actually was streaming over in a Discord that I'm a part of. I'm a mod in one of the Discords that I'm a part of, and I literally found out today that I was a mod. And funny enough, I was like thinking like maybe I can go live in the Discord here, and we can just go over some picks and chop it up, and maybe some cats will come over and listen to me chat my head off about some picks and stuff like that, and maybe they can share theirs, and we can just try to get some wins. As I always say too, just sidebar, go follow me over on Twitter or X at Vortex46 for all of my picks for today. But yeah, I was live over there for the last couple of hours, and I pretty much just ended streaming over there maybe 15 minutes ago. Went to go get something to eat. I was getting a little dizzy. I think that's why I was just like, let me go get something to eat. Let me move around, walk around, because I've been sitting for the last couple of hours. And I was like, well, maybe I still try to stream here on the channel, maybe not. But yeah, I was just like, well, I'm gonna still try to stream. Even one of my brothers, he texted me like, like literally, it was funny that I just got done streaming and was eating, and he texted me, asked me if I was gonna stream. I was like, maybe in about an hour, but I said, now that I'm kind of feeling like I'm okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stream now. But I'm gonna try to go for maybe an hour, maybe less than that. I already have some picks in. These are sharing some of my picks from over on Twitter. This is a 4-leg team total run over. As I always say, I push for team props as well as player props. I might do a player for a home run tonight. I have a feeling that a batter is going to go yard tonight. The hope is that he does. We'll see what happens with that. I think he's at a plus value of 400, 370, something like that. I can't remember. But we'll look at this in a minute. But this is over on FanDuel. 4-leg for these 4 teams to score runs. So I have the Athletics to get 5. This is over on Outlier. Per what the data says, they've been averaging just shy of 6 runs, 5.4 over the last 10. Head-to-head matchup, they're actually same thing, just shy of 6 runs, averaging 5.3 runs against my Oilers. Per them facing off against Sugano, I kind of believe that they may get maybe 2 or 3 runs off of him in the first half, and then get the other 2 in the back half of the game. For the Stros, going with the Stros, they're facing off against I believe it's Cam something. He is either a rookie or something like that, and I was like, well, maybe the Stros can get 4 runs. They are a minus 138. Technically both Athletics and Stros are a minus 138. Stros, they're averaging again the last 10 games 4 runs, just shy of 5, and they're averaging 3 against against the Yankees. But again, per the info, I kind of believe that they'll get these 4 runs in this game. Marlins, pushing them to get 5. They're taking on Bryce Elder, who struggles to just allow hits, to not allow hits. Last 10 games, they're averaging 4.7 runs. But same thing as the Stros, they're averaging just shy of 3.3 runs against the Braves. But the hope is that tonight Elder will cause them to get a few runs. We'll see what happens with that. And then the Cubs, taking them for 4 runs tonight. Excuse me, 5 runs. They're averaging 4, which again, last 10, they're like I think 5-5 in total. So over the last 10 of getting 5 runs. But in the head-to-head matchup against the Cardinals, they're actually averaging just shy of 5.2 runs. So hopefully this one cashes. Threw a dollar down to get back close to $10. We'll see what happens with that. This is my first ticket that I put in here. I have Westberg, Sanchez, and Sosa. Funny enough, in one of the Discords, one of the cappers actually posted a hit parlay, and 2 of the 3 batters are actually in on his ticket. Literally just saw it. I was like, oh snap! Because originally when I looked, I was like, oh, he has all 3. Because there's another batter that I have that I'm actually probably going to put down in a moment, probably for a single bet though, because I did want to put him down. But let me give me one moment. I have to. Whoops. I have to do this. I have 2 more picks that I wanted to post. Posting them now. Was this a plus? And there was this other ticket that I put together over on BetMGM. Where are you? Right here. Okay, plus 797. GM. Oh, this one was done with Outlier. Okay, all right. Let's get ready to refresh my Twitter here, and then we'll dive into some stuff. All right, so this is a 4-leg parlay, 2 total bases each, plus 1954 on FanDuel. This was put together from Prop Finders info. So Langlear, I'm actually probably more than likely going to take him on a straight ticket for 4 plus HRRs. He's actually looking really green against Sugano. Well, just against, when batting, and we'll look at his info in a minute. So I got Langlear, Christian Walker, Carpenter, and Laureano for 2 total bases. It's a 2-2 ticket. Basically, 2 batters are minus 110, 115. The other 2 batters are plus value, plus 145 and plus 135. Put it all down to get back over $21, basically close to 22. Per the data on Outlier, on Prop Finder, looks like it'll be a possible go. And then this one was put together from Outlier. This is a 4-leg, first 5 innings, total runs. This is a plus 797 bet over on BetMGM. I have the Marlins Braves game hitting 4 runs, minus 145. Guardians White Sox 4 runs, minus 130. Rockies Diamondbacks 5 runs, minus 118, and then Red Sox Padres, minus 160. The Red Sox Padres game, if I remember, actually was at a better value for 5. I think it was at minus 118, but I went with the minus 160 just to be on the safe side. So we'll see. Again, I feel like I'm taking the bigger risk. I feel like I'm taking is more so the Colorado Rockies Diamondbacks game with the 5. So we'll see. If I lowered it down, then more than likely this would have been probably like a plus 400 or something like that. So there's that. I just threw a quick buck down to get close to $10 back. So hopefully this one cashes. As I always say too, on Fridays is not one of my better betting days. Technically, it's the worst betting day for me as a better first, just as a plain old regular schmo better. And technically, I'm nobody of importance, to be honest. I'm just a capper that decided to, well, excuse me, a person who decided to become a capper back in October of last year. And in the midst of all of my losses, I still pushed through because technically my win-loss record is bad. But I win. When I win, I feel great or good about my wins, and when I lose, I suck up most of them, and then others ones I'm just like, dag, I really wish I could have won on that ticket. But it is what it is. It's a part of life. You lose more than you win in general, and it's definitely the same in this betting scene. So with that, I have another ticket that I did not share on stream here, but it's a 2-leg parlay. I put this together over on the stream in the Discord that I'm in. This was the final ticket. It's for Hernandez and Laureano to get 3 HRRs plus 830. So there's that one. Now, the thing about tonight, some of the games, so the power game just started. Let's see what's going on over here. It's been roughly 13-14 minutes since the game started. Let's see if anything has occurred. No runs have occurred. Cincinnati got shut down. Looks like, okay. Ellie De La Cruz got a hit and a total base. While Horwitz and Horwitz struck out. Looks like Pham walked. Reynolds is up. Reynolds went yard last night. I forgot to text my brothers today to ask them how they, what they felt about, because my brothers went to the power game yesterday, but I was just too down, too tired, because like I said, work kicked my butt. And pretty much once I finally laid down, I conked out. I was knocked out. It was a wrap. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to the game. I just knew. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to this game because I'll be running on fumes trying to stay awake at that game. I think if I would have sat down in the stands, I would have dozed off, just being honest. But let's see. So per the game itself, per what I was looking at, like Cruz looked the best. As you see, Ellie got a hit. So he might actually get 2 total bases, maybe 2 or 3 HRRs tonight. So the question is, will he do that? Chase Burns is pitching. He's, the rookie pitcher. Like he's basically 50-50 when it's pertaining to hits. Strikeouts, he's doing much better. So it was just like I didn't really want to take a chance on putting anything down for the Pirates against the rookie because either the Pirates are going to read his pitches or they weren't. So I just didn't want to take a chance. So I decided to stay off that side. And then for the Reds, I considered Ellie, and I think I considered Austin, but I didn't really look too much into the game. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to just stay off the game itself. If anything, I would have probably more than likely taken the under, but I didn't do that. Let me kind of look over at prop outline real quick. See, the under is 8. So the books are more so leaning more towards the under anyway. So Keller allows, against Cincy, he allows 2 runs. And, of course, Burns doesn't have any info. He's pretty much just slated at, or just allowing 6 runs. So the question, again, my Pirates, we won 7-0 last night. That was a great win for us. Personally, I didn't see us getting seven runs. So I didn't even put anything down for the game itself. I kind of been just like staying away from betting on power games in general. So it's either I'm missing out on money or I'm missing out on money. If you're really understanding what I'm saying. Basically saying like, hey, if I'm relying on the Pirates to do something, I probably decided to not bet on them and they go out there and do it because I had a feeling that they possibly would have did it and I didn't bet on them and they went out there and scored a lot of runs and batters got HRRs and somebody hit a home run and I didn't bet it. And then, the next game is like, oh, well, they're facing off against this pitcher, or they're facing off against a crappy pitcher, against the pitcher. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to bet the game or I'm not going to bet on them, or I'm not even going to bet against them. And the pitcher goes out there and gets a lot of strikeouts. And yeah, the pitcher does exactly that. They shut the Pirates down, blah, blah, blah. I don't even bet on the team that they're going against, and I still miss out on money. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I miss out on money or I miss out on money. So yeah, tonight, once again, probably more than likely going to miss out on some funds with the Pirates. What can you do? So the Astros, Yankees, this one was a bit of a much easier spot to look at. Why? Because, like I said, the pitcher for the Yankees, Cam, is pitching. He's still fairly new, right, for the season, only 19 innings. And then Hunter Brown is pitching. So I automatically was like, well, I'm not even going to bet a batter for the Yankees, because Brown just might, in the midst of him allowing a lot of runs, he might not allow a lot of hits. He might not allow a lot of runs against the Yankees. Even from last season, he didn't allow too many runs against them. Again, it's a whole new season though, and technically, some of these batters are new to the team, and a lot of them are pretty much batters that were home run batters. So that's what the Yankees usually stick to anyway. That's why they continuously, for the most part, are continuously playoff teams, right? But they're kind of on a slump, kind of possibly not making the playoffs this season. It just depends on what's going to happen over the course of the next 2 months. But Hunter Brown, in the midst of all of what we're seeing with his strikeouts and stuff and hits, he still struggles against the left and right-handed batters. But like I said, I actually went with the data with the head-to-head when it's pertaining to the strikeouts. And, the earned run, So I just said, I'm not going to bet on them. Yeah, Judge is green, Trent is green. Pretty much mostly everybody's green for the top half of the order, or even just in general when you really look at the info. But I looked over at, like I said, Cam, the young man. He's facing off against some decent hitters for the Stros. Stros sort of kind of been scoring runs, sort of kind of not, but still getting hits like a Christian Walker. So I put him on my 2TB parlay because he's been getting total bases. He bats well against righties outside of his batting average. And the pitch mix, in the midst of him being like 50-50 against the four seam and struggling against the slider, I still personally kind of felt like, due to what he was doing in the last, just for the month of August even, he was hitting the right-handed batters. When you look at his splits, he's 50-50 away and at night. He has a great average and slug in the month. He's 50-50 on Fridays and 50-50 versus righties. But batting fifth is what sold me, is because he's batting great, averages 318, and he has a 936 OPS. As I always say, OPS is the on base plus slugging. That is what gets the batters on the base. The only thing is that his line drive is low, because that's what I look at when I'm taking my 2 TBs and HRRs. So I just personally kind of had that feeling that Christian Walker was going to do something tonight. He just might even hit a home run tonight, because he's been more recently, over the last 10 games, hitting some home runs. Just a few, or under a few. I didn't get a chance to look at Jose. We can look at him real quick and see what his numbers are, because I didn't look his way. Christian Walker was the one that stood out to me the most. So he's not getting that many TBs. He's getting a few HRRs. He bats well against righties. He actually bats well against the four seam and the sinker. Struggling a little bit against the slider. Well, not a little bit, but mostly. But his line drive is good, 27%. He's getting some singles against righties, which is good. Let's see. Nighttime, he actually bats well. He's struggling in the month of August. He bats well on Fridays, bats well against the righties, and he bats really great on batting third, where he bats the most, 925 OPS. So there's that one. Jesus. Sanchez. Now, more recently, he's been getting TBs. Could have possibly considered him tonight. Getting some HRRs, which is good. So he's hitting the slider and the sinker, but more so would be more so the slider. He's struggling against the fastball, though. He's getting some doubles. Like the last week or so, he's been getting some doubles. That's good. So he's struggling away, but batting great at night, or good at night. 50-50 on Fridays. His slug is down on Fridays. He bats well enough against righties, and he's 50-50. Same thing, slug is down, batting second. 7-11. 7-11, Detaka. My fault. I had to quote a movie. See, let me look at Jeremy, because again, Jeremy's back. He actually came through on I think the second day that he was back, he came through. So no, it was the fourth. He hit here. So let's see. Okay, he's hitting the four seam. Struggling some against the slider. Okay. Now his line drive is great, 33%. He bats. He's green away at night in August on Fridays versus righties. He's in the spot to me. He might actually do something tonight. Again, might. Me personally, I would probably more than likely take him for. I might end up possibly taking him for HRR Yanner. Sir. You are a little bit more of a two total base guy, but still getting HRRs. Anytime he's gotten HRRs, it's been 3 or more. He hits the four seam, but struggles everywhere else. His line drive's still good, 27%. Now he's struggling away at night. He's batting great in August. He's batting really great on Fridays. That's great. 50-50 on versus righties, and then batting great, batting 6. So he could be in the spot. That's why I was saying earlier, like I feel like Houston, because they're facing off against this pitcher here, he might allow them to get, say at least maybe 4 runs tonight. At least, even like half of that, and then the rest of the bullpen does the rest of the job. Getting them on base, getting the runs scored in, so. Because that's the thing, if it was a different pitcher that actually gets strikeouts and stuff, doesn't allow a lot of hits, then I would have probably more than likely possibly taken the under on this game. Possibly. So Detroit, the only batter that I did pick, here's the thing with the game itself specifically. So, per the weak spot for this game, there's no weak spot for Skubal, because Skubal's mostly a beast, right? But Kyle is pitching, so Colt Keith is in the weak spot, Carpenter's in the weak spot, and McKinstry is in the weak spot. So originally when I looked at McKinstry, I was like, I don't know, but this was before he was, slated to bat in the order where he's at. And now he's in the weak spot. Now I mentioned this in the Discord that I was in before I came here to stream on the channel, is that never take this info here, specifically when you're looking at a batter's info, never take this at face value when it's so low. He's had 13 pitches thrown to him. He went 0-3. That is really nothing to really have a concern for, because it's not like Zach had went like 2 for 17 type of thing in, say, 30, 50 pitches thrown to him. So, again, there's still batters out there that still probably hit a home run or 2, or got a lot of HRs or a lot of total bases on a specific night where they finally were able to read that pitches thrown at him, and he, handle business that night. But it might only be that one game, and he goes back and the next time that he faces off against that pitcher and doesn't do anything again. So That's why I say again, don't take this at face value, because Zach may actually hit a home run tonight. He may actually get 2 to 4 total bases or 3 to 5 HRs tonight because he's in a weak spot specifically, only because of the weak spot. But the only thing is that he struggles against the four seam. He's hitting the changeup, which is getting thrown to him the most. And that's pretty much it. It's like it's 50-50 on whether or not Zach is going to do something against Kyle tonight. And that game is actually about to get ready to start. So, looking at stuff, he bats really well at home. He's struggling at night. He bats really great in the month. He's 50-50 on Fridays. He bats 50-50 versus righties, but he bats great batting 8th with an 8.69 OPS. So, yeah, there's that. And then on top of that, the last month in general, he's gotten some doubles, singles, home run. Even the last week, he was hitting sort of kind of. He had a home run just before the end of the month in July. So Zach is either going to do something or he's not, again, per what I just showed you. But I'm not going to take him, and I'm just going to accept Zach either not doing something or doing something tonight. He's either going to handle business or he's not. So, but Carey, looking at his info, I thought I put Carey down. Okay, since he just scored. So Lux got 2 HRs, a hit and a run. And Miguel and Dujar got a hit as well. So there's that. Okay, speaking of the game here, it just started between the Angels and Tigers. But Carey, has been on a tear since he came back. More specifically in the month. Well, technically, even like walking, like the last day of the month and walking into August, every other game he's been getting a home run. He's been getting total bases. He's been getting HRRs. So he's been handling his business. Same thing like Zach. He's 0-3 against Kyle. He hits the changeup. He hits the fastball, though. So he's not throwing it that much. And he actually hits the sinker. So this could be something that works into your advantage. If even you want to do a live bet, because his line drive is 33%. He's batting great on Mondays and at night. He's batting really great in the month of August, but he's struggling on Fridays. He bats great versus righties, and he actually bats really great batting third, where he bats the most. Look at that, 293 batting average, 780 slug with a 1.09 OPS. Like I said, personally, automatic play for me personally. So Jesus Sanchez got a hit and a total base, so that worked out for him. Let me see. I thought I put Carey down. Yeah, I have him on my ticket for 2 total bases. So that's why I said for me, it was either HR or total bases. I went with the total base. Let me look at Spencer real quick. He's been a little bit more quieter as far as total bases are concerned, but as you see, more recently he's been getting 2 or more HRRs. He has a positive against Kyle. 15 pitches thrown to him, 1 hit, one home run. He's hitting the fastball, but he's struggling against the sinker. But he's hitting the changeup, so it's like same thing, 50-50 with him. Line drive is 30%. Hard hit 67%. Pull 67%. Okay, 50-50 at home and at night. He bats well in August. 50-50 on Fridays. 50-50 versus righties. But he's batting great, batting 4th, where he bats the most. 2nd. Most where he bats is 5th. So Marlins, I talked about Drake Baldwin. He's in the weak spot. This could be a spot where he actually does his thing, but he's the only one in the weak spot. But Bryce pitching. So Edward, like the last, he's 3-2 the last 5 on allowing hits, right? 4 or more, basically 5 or more. But the last 10 has been roughly 4. He struggles against both left and righties. Pitch mix, it's like mostly red, even though he's pitching well with the sinker. So Drake is in the spot. He hit 2 home runs. He finally woke up as far as home runs are last night. Like I also mentioned in the Discord, I was in a live chat, live spaces on Twitter, just listening to the people talk, and one of them mentioned Drake Baldwin. I heard it, but I think I was tired listening to the conversation, and somebody had mentioned it, and I guess I was thinking like maybe he will go yard, but I just didn't put it in. And as you see, he hit 2 home runs last night, so that was a great call on that person who did talk about Drake. So Drake is green all across the board versus lefty versus righties and the bullpen. So he hits the fastball, but it's not getting thrown that much. But he struggles against the sinker and the changeup, which are getting thrown, almost the most as well. But his line drive is very, very high, 47%. Versus righties, he's been hitting righties though more recently. More focus point is more in this month. So he's green at home, batting great at home and at night. He's batting great in the month of August. He's batting well enough on Fridays. And he's batting well enough versus righties, but he's batting really, really great. Batting third. OPS is 1.18 or 1.86. So to me, looking at the info, Drake was like an automatic pick for me to pick for a home run. Plus he's a lefty, because Ed actually allows just 1 home run higher than the righty batter with 6 home runs compared to the 5. And the hard hit as well is above, a bit higher than righties. But again, Bryce, he allows more home runs to righties. Hard hit, home run percentage, all that is up versus righties. He has 4 batters that are in the weak spot, but in general, just in general, most of the batters, their OPS is above 700 or higher. So I personally felt like for this game specifically, that if you decided to go with the over, let's see if it moved. I think it was at 9. No. Sorry. Wait. Hold on. Make sure I'm looking at the wrong game. Marlins game. So 8. Me personally, the books are pushing for the under. I personally think that this could still push past 8, because I kind of feel like the Marlins can score maybe 6 runs, and maybe possibly the Braves scoring 3 or 4. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally feel like that game specifically could go over. But we'll see what happens. It could still be a low scoring game. But for the Marlins, Stowers still was a look for, say, a home run for HRRs. I didn't put him down. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. I went with, like I said, Hernandez on that 2-leg parlay, because he actually looked green. He's been, for the most part, getting HRRs outside of 4 days. So he's 6 for 4, of at least getting 3 or more HRRs. He hits the sinker, which gets thrown the most, but he's struggling against the fastball. He's struggling against the slider. So it just depends on what's going to happen tonight. But the line drive is still 27%. He's still hitting righties. He's still reading the ball. He's green away and at night. He's green in the month of August. But he struggles on Friday. So again, this was a gamble pick for me, but I still took it anyway, because I feel like he might do something tonight. He had he didn't do anything last night, so I kind of think he might just pick it back up tonight. And he's actually batting great, batting 4th. And again, versus righties. So that was that one. Per Stowers stuff, he's a lefty versus a righty. He has 1 hit against Bryson out of 16. The 1 hit was a home run. He's mostly green against the pitch mix, right? Same thing as Hernandez, 27% line drive. Hard hit is down. Pool is down. Because you pretty much do want the hard hit to be 60 or above, right? Plus the ground ball. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like for Kyle, he would probably get total bases, probably get HRRs, a bit more than a home run, but you never want to count him out because, you know, he's been like under with the home runs, but he's still getting something when he does get something. So Fridays is batting great. Versus righties is batting great. 50-50 batting second. So there's that info. Otto Lopez, I did want to take him. But for my pick, I wanted to pick a batter that I felt like was going to get 3 HRs, not 2. If I did decide to go with 2, it would be a 4-leg parlay, which I didn't do for that slip. Let's see. Houston scored 2 runs, as I was thinking that they were probably going to do. Altuve hit a home run. So there's that. Christian Walker struck out. Diaz struck out. So all I need is 2 more, and we will see what happens tonight. Let me see. Yeah, so Otto hits the fastball, but he's not throwing it like at all. Like it's non-existent in his pitch mix. He's struggling against the sinker, which he throws the best. At least against Otto, at least. So I think that's why I didn't take him. I just went with Hernandez instead. But he bats great on Fridays and versus righties and batting fifth. So he's like in the middle per his pitch mix anyway, but he's struggling in the month of August. So this is as I continuously say. So you have batters that, you know, pop up on the screen. You're like, who are you? You're new to me. This Dane Myers is a new face. He's in the weak spot. Now, per the weak spot, still good. 780 OPS. You know, 256, 487, 230. The OPS, the ISO is good. 231. That's actually good. So, personally, and even when you're looking at the per my pick for the 3 HRs for Hernandez, Bryce struggles against the 4th and 5th batter. So Hernandez and Lopez could actually go out there and do, you know, damage against his pitch mix tonight. Maybe even Otto a bit more because he's batting better, batting in the 5th spot. But again, per the spot itself, Hernandez was in the better spot. Why? Because per the 4th spot itself, the most home runs were hit, the most RBIs were hit. The OPS is high, 1.108. You know what I mean? So that's why I was just like, for me, it was a no-brainer to take Hernandez. I didn't even look at Augustin here. Let me look at his stuff. He's been struggling. He did have at least 2 or more HRs the last 2 days, which is good. But he's struggling against the pitch mix. He's only hitting the fastball, which, again, is non-existent in Bryce's stuff. He's sort of kind of been hitting righties in the month, sort of kind of. He's batting great on Fridays. Okay, 50-50 versus righties and batting third. So, okay. All right. Xavier, I looked at his stuff. That's right. I was talking about this in the stream on Discord. So I looked at his stuff. The only thing was I think it was the pitch mix. Like his line drive is good. He's been doing stuff. It's just that's what it was. His splits were 50-50 all across the board outside of, what was it? The month. Yeah. So he's actually batting like great, right? He's actually batting great. But he isn't consistently getting 2 HRs or more, at least by the 3rd game. So that was the other thing. I'm looking at it from a trend perspective, even though I don't really like trends. I'm just like, yeah, like the batter's going to go out there and do something, or he's not. So every third day, for the most part, he hasn't done anything. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna not bet on him tonight, because he just might still go out there and get the 3 or 2 HRs tonight, or he might not. So there's that info. So we'll see. Again, maybe Xavier does something, like maybe. So Cleveland facing off against the White Sox. Aaron Savale is pitching. Savale, excuse me, and then Tanner Bobby's pitching. Look at that. Look at that. My O's decided to score some runs. Let's look at this real quick. They got 3 runs. I'm proud of my boys. I'm very proud. Why? So Andy was in the weak spot. He was batting 4th, and he hit a home run. But somebody was outside the weak spot, and that was Ryan Mountcastle, and he hit a home run. So we had a back-to-back home run spot. I'll gladly take that. Okay, Nick Kurtz struck out. I didn't take Kurtz on my ticket. But I do have... Didn't I have... let me double check. I do have Shea for 2 total bases, so we'll see. So, again, I went with Westberg on one of my tickets. So, hopefully in the next spot, because he struck out, hopefully in the next spot he'll handle business. So we'll see. So yeah, that's that info for that game. That's what I do normally when I'm in the middle of streaming and stuff. I'll pay attention to the scores and stuff while I'm still streaming, and you know, re-go over the data just to see what I may have missed out on or was thinking at the time and just didn't do it. Because for my O's, I was looking heavy on Andy Rutschman, and I just didn't take him. I went with Westberg instead. All right. So this game, and I didn't even get a chance to even see this info per the weak spot until now. All right. So Colson is in the weak spot. When does this game start? Is it 8 o'clock? 7:30? Maybe look, because I just might. So 7:40. I have a little bit of time, just a smidge time. Let me look, see. So Colson's green. He's facing off against Tanner. He's been hitting. Like, I keep missing out on this kid. Like, when he was doing something, I would either forget to put him down or just don't put him down, and he does something. And then when I would go and put him down on a ticket for, say, 2 total base or 3 HRs or 2 HRs, I would miss out. So he's gone back-to-back games where he didn't do anything. So it seems like, again, per a possible trend, even just the last week, you know, he would do something for 2 days, then he wouldn't do it. Now he's back. He did something. But again, this is now day 3. So maybe the trend fell off. Again, just kind of just throwing some stuff out there. He might do something tonight. He's hitting the sinker, which isn't getting thrown that much. Curveball, which also isn't getting thrown that much. He struggles against the fastball, which is getting thrown a lot. And he struggles against the changeup, which is also getting thrown. So he may or may not do something tonight. His pull is high. Hard hit is low. Line drive is low. So, again, consider. Maybe possibly still taking Colson tonight. Or maybe just not. Now, his slug is great outside of his batting average, which is super low batting in August. But he bats great on Fridays. He bats great versus righties. And outside of his average being just at 50, at 250, you know, it still could have been a positive at 255, 260. What's up, fam? What's going on? He took them off. That's what I'm saying. Like, what I keep telling you, dog, just put them down. Just keep them on the ticket. Put them down and just redo the ticket. Even if you bet low, man. Even if you bet low. Do 2 separate tickets. Keep them on there. If you feel like that's what you need to start doing. If you feel like you're second guessing something or a player or a team, just do it anyway and hope for the best. Cause I know for sure. Like, we keep talking about that. Like, I know for sure. Like, most of the time when you're second guessing yourself and you take them off, they usually do what you were thinking that they were going to do. So yeah. Now for Rushman, I didn't, like I said, I did not put him on my ticket. I was just like heavily considering putting him on the ticket. But when I looked at Westbrook, I was like, Westbrook looks better, so I'm gonna go on ahead and take him instead. And my mindset wasn't of, oh, I'm still gonna take him. So for you had him on your ticket. you took him off. So just keep him on there and walk away from the table hoping for the best. Let's see. Oh yeah, Michael A. Taylor went. That was the other cat, cause in that Spaces stream on Twitter, they were talking about Michael A. Taylor, and I just missed it, and he went yard. Yeah. You'll get it, cause again, this is the other side of betting. You know what I mean? Where you're learning to, you're eventually going to learn to accept your second guesses as a still a guess that you just start putting it in anyway. Because right now you're at the stage of, oh, I keep second guessing myself. Because eventually you're going to get tired of second guessing yourself. You're just going to just do it. So yeah, that's all. One bet at a time, Let me look at Kyle here, because he's in a weak spot. So he has a positive against Aaron, but he's struggling in the last 10 and getting 2 or more HRRs. More than likely, same thing with total bases, yeah. He's struggling against the pitch mix. His line drive is freaking great. Look at that. Another batter with a 50 line driver higher. Dog, that's beautiful, man. It's just that he's been struggling to really do anything. That's the only thing. Look at that. He was a singles machine at the end of July. Man, and he walks into August with 2. Dude, like, your boy's a beast. So maybe he's another batter that probably went cold because he was actually doing something at the end of the month last month. That's probably what possibly may have happened with Kyle. Let me look at Jose. So he's just been struggling against Aaron. Okay, he hits the fastball. He hits the sinker, but it's not. Well, it's sort of kind of been throwing, but not that much. One moment, I'm responding to a message on Facebook. Okay. All right. Um. So let's see, Jose. Look at Daniel. Hold on. Who's that? Oh yeah, Steven. Cause Steven's in the weak spot. I don't think Daniel is. Okay. Forcing. So his line drive is great. 40%. That's great. He has a double. He has a couple of singles and a double in the month so far. That's good. He's batting great away. He's batting great in the month. He's struggling on Fridays though. 50-50 versus righties, and then he struggles versus batting second. That's the only thing. Okay, Detroit and Angels scored 1 run each. Okay, Hop has 2 HRRs, and Rengifu, like Luis, he has 2 HRRs. He has a hit and a run. Hop has a hit and an RBI, and Spencer went yard. Look at that. I don't think he was in the weak spot though. I don't think. Nah, he was on the outside, basically looking in. Now the ISO's down. See, average is great. The slug is still good. OBS is still technically great. You can round that off to 800. He's still batting great at the 4th spot. So this is Spencer's 10th home run at the 4th spot of the order for the season. He basically went back to back. No, sorry. That's I apologize. He went, well, technically you could say he went back to back. It's just that he just didn't. They didn't play yesterday, but still, this is technically still counted as a back to back. So he has 3 HRs tonight, 4 total bases, a single. So this is his 5th straight game of 1 single, currently, or more. What did he I was gonna say? Let's see if I can find it on Twitter here. Probably. Let me see. He hit a. Must have been a fastball. It was 102. Just shy of 103. 1.203. So it must have been a 4-seam. Sent that thing flying. Let me see if this will. Let me see if this will. Like I said, it probably was a home run. Okay. Let's see if this updated or not. Sometimes Profinder updates fast, and sometimes it doesn't. Let me just see. It didn't yet. Not yet. So I guess within the next 15 minutes or so, it will update. So actually, Hop was green. It's just he was struggling in the last few games. He was hitting the changeup. I just don't know if what he read was a changeup. His line drive was 40%. I did not look at this game like really that much outside of Kerry Carpenter. Okay, so he's now 2 for 15 now officially instead of 1 for 14. He's batting great versus lefties. He's batting pretty much good, batting 7. So it was either I was going to take him or I wasn't. I think to be honest, if I would have seen everything in front of me, I think his August stat would have been what would have probably pulled me away from me putting him down. So Adele went back to back on the 4th and the 5th. He didn't do anything in the last game on the 6th. This dude decided he wanted to do something on the couple of days that I did not look his way. He's hitting the changeup, slider, 50-50 versus the four seam. So he's hitting well at night. He's struggling in August, but he bats great on Fridays. He technically bats great versus lefties outside of his batting average being just shy of being in the positive. Same thing with batting 5th. So there was probably a chance I would have taken Adele for some HRRs tonight too. Maybe a total base. Maybe. And then Taylor Ward. He's green. He's usually almost green almost all the time. Okay, he's hitting lefties. So he's struggling on Fridays. He bats great versus lefties. 50-50 batting 4th. You know, I didn't even look at Neto. Okay. See, Neto, I would have definitely not taken. He's struggling on August. He's struggling on Fridays. Struggling versus lefties. I would have definitely not put him down. Personally. All right. Okay. Oh, I already looked at this game. I'm getting all tired. So this game, I was talking about. So Phillies versus Texans, Rangers. I was talking about in Discord earlier, a couple hours ago. I was saying that per the pitching, not so much the data in front of me for the batters. Per the pitching, though, I decided to not bet on this game because this might be a low-scoring game. And both pitchers might handle business tonight. Again, might. This could still technically be a high-scoring game. The batters go out there and do their job. The pitchers struggle. Because Sanchez is pitching. He has been, in the midst of him, you know what I mean, allowing hits, he's still been getting 5 or more strikeouts in the midst of him struggling against lefties, blah, blah, blah. But I just kind of have a feeling that it's going to go under the total run. Total run was what, if I remember correctly? Let me see. It was 8. So even the books are agreeing with me for the under. But again, this plus 100 is one of my favorite picks to take anyway. And personally, I still feel like it'll go under the total, under the 8. Wyatt, if I remember, Wyatt's in the weak spot. I think Schwarber's in the weak spot. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, Schwarber's in the weak spot, Nick's in the weak spot, Wyatt's in the weak spot. It's just these three batters. To be honest, though, Turner was a look for one of my parlays that I was really going to put him on, but I decided to not put him on it, or just not bet on this game. He bats well against righties, outside of his ISO being down. He hits so the only pitch that he really hits that is getting thrown a lot is the sinker. So this one is more of a 50-50 spot, to be honest. Now, he's been struggling a little bit more recently versus righties, just a smidge right more recently. But he's green away and at night. He's struggling in the month of August. He's super green on Fridays. He's green on versus righties, and he's green batting first. So it's either he's going to go out there and get, say, 2 to 4 HRRs, 2 to 4 total bases tonight, maybe go yard. He's due. Tonight might be the night he goes yard. But as always, Kyle is the best spot to look. Why? Because he has a positive against Merle. He's hit 2 home runs off him in 76 pitches thrown. He's mostly green against the pitch mix. Line drive is actually great. That's 33%. Sort of kind of been hitting the last week or so. He bats great at night. He bats really great in the month of August. He bats really great on Fridays. And he actually bats great batting second, where he bats the most. So that's what I'm saying. Kyle might still do something. He might still get a home run tonight. Plus his OPS is high batting second, in the midst of it being low. So it's like a twofold. Like Kelly, funny enough, right? He's allowed 4 home runs at the second spot in the batting order, but the OPS is super low at 543. Even the average is down. Even the slug is down. But the ISO is still good because it's above 200. So the question is Kyle going to hit a home run tonight in this spot where Kelly has pitched that 19 times and allowed 4 home runs and 7 RBIs? That's the question. Or is Nick going to be the one? Because he's in a better spot technically, due to the info here compared to where his stats are at, batting 5th. And it actually might not be either of these cats that do anything tonight. It might be somebody else. It might be Harper. It might be JT. Might be any of these cats. But still, he's getting singles in the month. He's still doing his job. Even when we look at his single info, look at this. He's still getting singles. And he's getting HRs, 2 or more at least. He's batting well at night, struggling on away games. He's batting well enough on the month of August. He's batting great on Fridays, batting good versus righties, and he bats well batting 5th. So Nick could still do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I personally feel like this may go under, but there's still a chance that Philly scores a lot of runs, or Texans score a lot of runs, or they score an equal amount of runs, and it still goes over that total tonight. We'll see. But I just personally just couldn't put a bet on this game. So I did mention this too in the Discord for the Twins game versus Kansas City, is that the Twins, since they traded some players away, they still have won some games and actually still been scoring some runs, at least 4 or more, if you're really paying attention to this squad. Joe has one weak spot, just Salvador, which I was mentioning a lot in the stream. I actually mentioned about how Salvador, his line on one of my tickets, I think 3 days ago or something like that, where he came through, his line was a plus 190. If I remember correctly, it was total bases, I think. No, it was a HRR, and it bumped up to plus 200, and I was like, yeah, let me take this before this bumps back down. And yeah, he helped cash that ticket for me. So O'Neal Cruz, I did talk about him in the stream and on Discord, and he actually got a double. So that was a missed opportunity on my end. I did mention Cruz, that if you're going to take anybody, you should take Cruz for that game. And yeah, for sure I know I mentioned Cruz, bringing Cruz up. But let's see, Salvador. Let me look up the actual spot. 759, 231 ISO, nice. Actually, the best ISO out of the whole order. So Salvador just might actually do something tonight because he's in the best spot. Now he's struggling against Joe, but again, per the spot, that could change. And he's in a spot too because Joe struggles against righties more than lefties, and he bats well against righties. He's green against the pitch mix, right? Okay, 50-50 versus the four seam. He hits the sweeper. Okay, he's still in the spot. 33% line drive. His hard hit is high. 67% pull is down. Ground ball is down too, actually. But again, he's still hitting. 50-50. Okay. So he's actually batting well versus righties and batting great, batting fifth. So there's a chance Salvador may actually do something tonight. So Wallner's back in the weak spot per Seth on the lower OPSs. Now, the last 5 games, he's actually been handling business as far as 3 HRRs, so that's still something that you can consider for Wallner. He has a positive batting average and all of that against Seth. Outside of his ISO being down, he has 1 2-bagger. He struck out 4 times and 37 pitches thrown to him. He's hitting the cutter. That's not getting thrown. He's hitting the changeup. No, he's 50-50 against you. 50-50 versus the four seam, but struggling against the slider. Let's see. Struggling on Fridays. So he's just struggling. But again, per the stats, he's still handling business. Some way, somehow, he's reading pitches. And again, he was hitting some home runs. Still getting some total bases. Literally 4 total bases every time he got it. 3 HRs or more anytime he got it. So he was in the midst of his data. There's one of those batters that in the midst of his data, he's still handling business for the team. So that's good. He's literally one of the reasons why the Twins have been winning the last few games is because of Matt. Just being honest. Cody, he's not even getting any home runs. Hardly any total bases or HRRs. Green against the pitch mix. He's struggling against the four seam though. But he's hitting the curveball, slider, changeup. He's reading those. He's just struggling more recently to really read pitches and push the ball up and get it above distances of 200 or more. Struggling on Fridays. He's 50-50 at home and at night. 50-50 in the month of, versus righties. Batting well enough, batting fourth. So there's a chance Cody could still do something tonight. But again, Seth, he's like every other game. If this is a trend, if you believe in trends, since the 3rd of July and forward, he had basically 5 or more strikeouts. He didn't get it the 8th. He got 5 or more on the 18th. Didn't get it on the 23rd. 5 or more on the 29th. Didn't get it on the 3rd. So, again, per the trend is that he probably may allow 5 or more hits tonight. And still possibly get 5 or more strikeouts tonight at the same time. So just putting that info out there for you. Let's look at Royce, because you never know. Royce might decide he wants to read a pitch, send it out the park. because he was doing something back here, you know, that last week of July, a little bit before, randomly, right? But he's been struggling to read the pitches more recently. 50-50. So he's struggling at home, 50-50 at night. Struggling in August. He bats well enough, decent enough, really. His OPS is down on Fridays. Struggling versus righties, 50-50 batting 6. So Royce may not do nothing. May not do anything tonight. Bobby Hit Jr., not just Witt. Oh, nice. I forgot to put my it was for the preseason NFL. I forgot to do another ticket. I did a rushing parlay. I forgot to do a passing parlay. I was gonna do something for because the Browns Panthers game started and Shador threw a touchdown. So missed. Okay, Detroit scored 3 runs. Okay. So McKinstry got 2 HRRs. Green finally decided to do something. He has 2 HRRs. And Javier Baez got 3 HRRs. So missed opportunity with that. Cleveland scored 2 runs. Santana has 3 HRRs. Jose has 2 HRRs. Daniel Schmiedman has a run. So that's that info. Oh, they just scored again. What happened? KJ Kafis doubles. Bo Naylor scored, Carlos Santana scored, and Manzardo scored. So I think I was right on one of my picks. I think I had Cleveland on my ticket. Let me double check. Missed opportunity. I don't. If I did, because I was considering putting Cleveland down, but I looked a different way. So, yeah, had I put Cleveland down, they would have met the mark. Like I said, I was considering Cleveland for, I think it was like 4 runs, maybe 5, and they actually got the 5. So it was a missed opportunity, which also means that Cleveland probably, maybe, possibly scoring 9 runs or more tonight. But we will see. Oh, that's what it was. I thought I did. I did do that. All right. So I forgot. It was my other parlay on BetMGM for Cleveland to score 4 runs. So they met the mark. Minus 130. So I'm waiting on Marlins Atlanta to possibly do something. And then Rockies, Diamondbacks, Red Sox, San Diego. So I took a bit of a chance on the Marlins Braves because it's 1-0 right now. Xavier did his thing. He has 3 HRRs. There's only, basically 2 innings left. So we'll see. That might be the ticket that might be the game that has my ticket fell. But I'll just try it again tomorrow. Let me see. Away at night, Green. He's batting great in the month. Bats great on Fridays. He's just green all across the board. That's what I was talking about with Bobby. He probably more than likely may do something. Maybe against Joe. Maybe. Because he's allowing hits. Me personally, I would probably, because I did do a parlay. I had Bobby, Vinny, and Salvador for three HRRs, and they came through for me. Excuse me. The only question is, would they do it again tonight? That's the only question. I think I'm about to put that ticket in. This might actually be my only ticket that I put in on the stream. What is the game? KC Twins. Because again, Joe is pitching. Like, do I want to do this pick back to back, or do I want to save this for, say, tomorrow? Let me see. So Bailey Ober is pitching tomorrow. He is a righty. Only reason why I'm probably not going to do it is because a lot of the batters struggle against Joe. Yeah. If anything, I'll save this pick for tomorrow. They're facing off against Bailey tomorrow. Yeah. So this is an early look. Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and Salvador Perez. 3-leg parlay, 3 HRRs tomorrow. This is an automatic, more than likely automatic lock for tomorrow. Because Bailey, he literally is averaging like 5 or more, maybe 6 or more hits a start. So for the season. So that's just the early look for tomorrow. This game I did look at. Okay, so the back of the order is in the weak spot. So Brandon is pitching. He doesn't allow that many hits. So I kind of felt like New York probably more than likely will get shut down. But Senga's pitching. He allows 4 hits or more in general. He actually struggles against righties. And William is a righty. In the midst of him struggling, right? He's struggling against the pitch mix, right? But his line drive is 27%. His EV is still 90 or above for the most part in the month. So he's 50-50 at night. He struggles at home. He's struggling in August. He bats well enough on Fridays. Struggling against righties and batting. He technically has a great batting average. Batting second, it's just his slug is down. His OPS is still good above 700. So I think it was on Andrew that when I was going over this game over on the Discord. He's 50-50 versus the 4-seam. He hits the slider. That's what it was. So it was another pitcher that had a different type of pitch in his mix that you normally don't see, and the fork ball is one of them. So that's what it was. That's why I didn't put a pick on this game. because there's a chance that that fork ball that Senga throws 27% at a time in his pitch mix, in the midst of him struggling to throw it, right? He might still, you know what I mean? The batters, they're not seeing that pitch. They're seeing a lot of other stuff. So, like, the slider's not getting thrown that much per his pitch, like, at all. It's non-existent. Cutter is being thrown. Cool. Isaac hits it. But he's only seen it 9% of the time. So he's been hitting righties, which is good. Line drive is good, 20%. So looking at this stuff now, I may consider putting Isaac down. Let me see. But like I said, it's just, you know what I mean? That fork ball may be a bit of a stickler. Now he's struggling. So Isaac looks like the best spot for Mr. Bryce. He's been connecting with a lot of the pitches more recently. Looking at this, I might just say screw it and put. I didn't even look at Yelich. Okay. I actually might put this probably be my last pick of the stream. I think I'm good for real. So what I'm probably gonna do is probably just gonna take a chance on, who was it? Isaac. Just in time too, because the game's about to start in like 3 minutes. Just gotta hurry up. So this will be a 2-leg parlay. Let me see. 2 total base. Isaac is a plus 155. And maybe you, I can't remember. Is it you? No, I don't think so. Was it Yelich? It was Yelich. Yelich. Yeah, Yelich. 2 total base plus 140. Again, he's been sort of kind of hitting righties. And Andrew Vaughn, 2 total base plus 110. So this is plus 12, basically plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Ain't that some cheese? Gonna push it to. I'm just gonna throw a quick dollar some change down, get back $13. That's the ticket. This is a last second pick real quick. Like I said, last second. And we will hope for the best. Hope we come up on something, but I'm about to go to sleep. Where am I doing? Chat, yeah. It'll be slips, yeah. Quick. Fam, I'm texting the group. Text group. And that's that. I'm good. Alright. But I'm done streaming because I'm about to be knocked out, I think. Get up, go to work. Yep, get up, go to work, and do it all over again for the next 4 days. We'll see what happens. But fam, thanks for stopping by in the stream. But I'm about to go lay down and call it a night. I will hopefully by tomorrow, maybe, because there's early games tomorrow, so there's what, 1, 2, 3 early games. Everything else is at 6. So hopefully I'll stream tomorrow after work around same time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But hopefully I can look at some stuff maybe in the middle of my shift on my lunch break or something. Try to put a few tickets in so that way I'll have them in and I can just talk about them on stream tomorrow. But I will holler at y'all hopefully tomorrow. Stay safe, stay humble. Peace.